What is going on, guys? This Brothers All Gaming with my review of Hakkenden Season 2, Episode 6. And this episode starts off with this cat, Kaede. He's freaking out, and so he basically, runs away from the mansion. And so the next day, we get Nachi, and he comes in looking for his cat, but of course nobody can find him. So he asks Shino to go out there because apparently he's going to be busy with Rio, so he can go out there and look for himself. So he asks Shino to do it, which he does. But luckily, Shino definitely does not have to look far to find it. So now we go to Kaede, and basically this episode he had like his own little adventure. He was like checking around the capital because it's been quite a while since he's been here, and he notices how different it has become. So he spots Kino and what was the name? Kokonoe. I believe that's it. Because apparently these two have some kind of history, maybe, or at least he knows about her. But of course, when she looks at him, he quickly hides. But apparently Kaede, he is like really scared of a lot of things. But before I get into that, I definitely want to mention that these Shadow Eaters that were attacking him earlier, because I had no idea that they would be like that they would play such a role in this episode. Because when he first saw that they were eating his shadow, I thought that he scared them off, but I didn't know that he had continued to eat them. But luckily, he actually gets found by Kenpachi and his brother and mother at the end, because when Shino goes there, he of course sees them, or sees the cat, and he realizes that it's the one that he's been looking for, because Kenpachi found it earlier, and he asked his mother to watch over it. And when Shino says that it's the cat that he's been looking for, or kind of been looking for, he then becomes its temporary owner. And so of course, like the episode like mainly revolves around Kaede and Shino. And then when they're in this hotel room, we get this hilarious scene where Megu comes in and actually bites Kaede tails, and when he tried to transform, he actually can't because his shadow is gone. And I didn't know because of that he could return to his original form. And so of course, like, Shino says that he's also been trapped in a smaller shell for the last 5 years, which of course caused Kaede to laugh at him. But then we see Shino getting like really ticked off, and he actually brings out his crow and tells him that he can eat the cat. But of course, then he gets really scared and says that he'll stop laughing. But then we learn that the reason that he ran away is because everybody else, spirits, he's basically afraid of it, and that's why he kind of left, because he literally gets scaredy cat for the most part. But then we learn more about him, about how Nachi wasn't his original owner, and in fact it was his brother Yuri. But we learned that even though Yuri was picked, he did not believe in spirits and didn't want to see him. So he basically cut off everything he can to his attachment to Kaede, till eventually Kaede left him alone and went to his brother. And then when his brother left him, he felt like he had nobody, so eventually he died alone, because he kind of lost everything. Well, not kind of, he actually did. So I definitely kind of felt bad for his brother, because that he now wished to see demons or spirits and stuff. It kind of cost him everything, because he was putting away his own power pretty much. But then Shino actually managed to help Kaede get his shadow back by threatening these Shadow Eaters. And of course, to do that, they had to literally pull his shadow out of his mouth. And now they have the shadow back, he can transform. And I can't believe that after all this time, because like later on they have like this little feast where everybody comes together. Even Dagaku comes in. And Shino finally sees that all his friends are bead holders, Like the people that he been looking for since season 1 are his friends that he had no idea till now. But I gotta say, I could understand that Sosuke, he's underage, but Kino, when he said he was underage, I kind of had, you know, an expression like everybody else did, because to me, he looks like an adult, so it's kind of hard to believe that he's underage. So I could definitely see why they had that kind of reaction. But this episode, it was like really funny, and it was also very touching, because even though Kaede left his brother, Nachi had a very similar smile to Shino, which is why Kaede wanted to be with Nachi in the first place. And even Nachi felt happy and didn't blame Kaede at all. Or he didn't think that Kaede did anything wrong, because it was his own brother's choice to be like that, which is why Kaede can't blame himself. And anyway, Nachi is happy that Kaede possessed him anyway, so it all kind of works out. So Kaede definitely now feels more loved than ever, which is why at the end of the episode, he was on Nachi like that. But the thing is, though, he was in his original form rather than being that little cat. So of course his huge weight, it started breaking the chair, and eventually it did, and I just laughed like so much at that part. But overall, this episode, it was definitely funny. It had a lot of comedy, and it also had those moments that like really got to you. So I definitely liked it. I definitely want to see this final Beholder, because now, well, no, because there are 8 bees. Oh no, because Sosuke's shadow has his bee, which makes him stronger. We know that boy that has that demon that can no longer talk, I believe he's also a Beholder. So really, we only have like one more to see, and then we'll see all 8. So I am wondering when they're gonna bring in this final one, because I'm definitely interested in it. I want to see what kind of role will he play in the story. But overall, guys, let me know what you thought about the episode, and as always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, please. But as always, you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.